When people think of Indian food, they often imagine rich restaurant curries with lots of complicated spice blends. Indian daily home cooking is not always about using dozens of ingredients or making complicated gravies. Today we will be making a plant-based meal comprising of a dal or lentil curry, a cauliflower curry made with cumin and black pepper, and a very simple yet very delicious stir-fried pumpkin. Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Bumbi. I always start with the dal. Today I used a combination of split yellow moong beans, that is moong dal, and red lentils, that is masoor dal. I took 1/4 of a cup of each of them. Always rinse the dal very well before cooking. I added the rinsed out lentils into my Instant Pot pressure cooker along with chopped tomatoes, sliced onions, and a heaped teaspoon of grated ginger. Next goes in dry bay leaf, 2 cloves. If you have picky eaters, I would advise you to crush the cloves in a mortar or pestle before adding, or else probably they may land on the plate of someone who hates them the most. I also added a teaspoon of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of chilli powder, 2 teaspoons of ground coriander, that is dhania powder, 2 teaspoons salt, and a drop of oil to prevent the lentils from foaming up. Next I added 3 cups of hot water, then lid on and pressure cook it for 10 minutes. If using a stovetop pressure cooker, allow the pressure cooker to come up to full pressure on high heat. Then lower the heat to low and set a timer for 10 minutes. Let's now move on to make the other recipes. First I will be making a masala paste. Here I have some garlic and ginger. I will be using a tablespoon of whole cumin seeds, that is jeera, and a heaped teaspoon of black peppercorns, that is kali mirch, also known as gol morich in Bengali, where gol in Bengali refers to round and morich is pepper. I added everything into my blender jar. First grind everything without using any water. After that add half a cup of water and blend everything to a smooth paste. You may need to switch off and on your blender a number of times to get a paste. We won't be requiring all of this for today, so I saved the rest in an airtight jar in the refrigerator for making other curries, and it stays good for about a week, or you can also freeze it. Heat a pot or pan over medium-high heat with some oil in it. Once oil turns hot, lower the heat to low and add a dry bay leaf followed by a teaspoon of Bengali 5 spices, that is panch foron. I will be leaving the link in the description box on how to make panch foron. Next add sliced onions, fry on medium-high heat. When the onions turn a little pale, add 3 to 4 tablespoons of the ginger, garlic, cumin and black pepper paste. Give a brief stir and add sliced tomato. I added a teaspoon of turmeric powder and stir on medium-high heat. When the tomatoes start falling apart, in goes Mr. Potato, followed by cauliflower. Add salt to taste, then stir well till all the cauliflower and potato gets well coated with that masala. Next, lid on. Keep it on medium heat and let's start the next recipe making use of another burner of my stove. Here is some oil heating over medium heat. Once the oil turns hot, lower the heat to low and add a teaspoon of nigella seeds, that is kalonji in Hindi and kalo jeera in Bengali. And I also added half of a dry red chilli. You can also use cumin seeds or mustard seeds if you do not have nigella seeds. But if possible, I would highly recommend trying different spices because each one has its own unique flavor. Like nigella seeds have this beautiful nutty flavor which is so different from other spices. Whenever you add any whole spices to oil, the heat of your stove should be low or else they may burn and turn bitter. Okay, I added the pumpkin Now increase the heat to medium. I added 1/4 teaspoon of hing, that is asafoetida. It brings in a nice earthy flavor to the curry. You can also add some chopped garlic in place of hing or just leave it out. Do not add any salt now. Cover the pan and let it stay like this on low heat. Coming back to the cauliflower curry, I added just 1/2 teaspoon of my homemade garam masala powder, then whole green chilies and about a cup of hot water. Then cover on and let it simmer away on low heat. I added 1/2 teaspoon of chilli powder to the pumpkin and again cover on till the pumpkin starts getting tender. My dal also is cooked. After 10 minutes of pressure cooking, I switched it off and allowed all the pressure to go down naturally before opening the lid. I also added some hot water to the dal as it was a bit too thick for me. Remove the bay leaf and fish out the cloves and discard them. I switched on the saute function of my Instant Pot to bring another boil to the dal. If you are using a regular pressure cooker, switch on your stove. Now you can have this dal just like this, but I go one step further and I like tempering the dal as it brings in so much flavor. So here some oil is heating up. Once the oil turns hot, lower the heat to low and add a teaspoon of cumin seeds, that is jeera, then a dry red chilli broken into half. Switch off the heat of your stove, then add 1/4 teaspoon of asafoetida, that is hing, and 2 teaspoons of paprika. Why I am telling you to switch off the heat of your stove? Because if the heat is on, then there are chances that the hing and the paprika may burn. So always switch off the heat whenever you are doing a tadka and add your chili powder and hing. You can also use Kashmiri chili powder in place of paprika. Then pour this aromatic goodness into your dal, and there you go. You've brought in life to that dal with that sizzling goodness. Switch off your pressure cooker or stove and your dal is all done. The pumpkin is also done. Now is the time to add salt and just a teaspoon of sugar, which is optional. I added salt at the end because if I added salt in the beginning, the pumpkins sometimes break and fall apart and it all becomes a gloopy mass. I don't like the look of that. So I always add salt at the end whenever I make stir-fried pumpkin like this. Do not wait for the pumpkin to turn all mushy-dushy. At the end, increase the heat to high, and as you can see, the pumpkin is looking beautiful, and it is all done. My cauliflower and potatoes have turned soft. Add some chopped cilantro or any herb of your choice, and your cauliflower curry is ready to be served. So this is what I cooked today. White rice, some cucumber and onion slices, Moong and Masoor dal, cauliflower curry cooked with cumin and black pepper, and a simple stir-fried pumpkin with nigella seeds, and a bowl of plain unflavored yogurt to finish the meal. This is what a comforting Indian plant-based meal looks like. 3 simple dishes, 1 complete meal, and that's the beauty of a home-cooked meal. Next time, I will bring in a simple non-vegetarian meal. I hope you all are enjoying watching my home-cooked meal videos. Your likes and support really help this channel a lot. Thank you and bye-bye.